Okay, let's have a look at the House of Sound. Let's turn that round. Right, we are full moon, bang on, in the middle. Last night, really vivid dreams, don't know about you, things coming to light. We are asking for a collective message from the fairies for the collective, the energy at this moment. What opportunities do we have during this full moon in Aries, supermoon, portals? Let's see what the message is. Message of the highest level, protection of the highest level. We have the Magician. We have manifesting energy. This is, I have worked on my heart chakra. I've worked on my wands, healing energy, the ability to be able to magic things up, this fire energy. I've worked with my pentacles and I've worked with my swords. I've mastered all of the cards. Now what am I going to do? What am I going to create? What kind of future am I going to manifest? So this is really strong magician energy, and it comes with the Knight of Wands underneath. So fast action, movement forward. The Knight of Wands is like the protester, going against the grain, moving out, fighting for a cause. This could be inwardly, outwardly, but he's on fire with it. I mean, that's the perfect example of Aries energy, is this Knight of Wands coming in. Could be a younger person, but it's a brand new idea. It's a brand new, fresh energy to get out into the world. It's like this Knight of Wands as well needs to be kept, probably got a bit of ADHD, needs something to put his fire energy into. So starting a new business, coming up with the idea, making the plans, let's get moving, got to get it done, or he'll get bored and move on to something else. So that's bottom of the deck. We've got the fire energy, but magician energy. This is mastering all the tools. The heart chakra, the mind space, the wands, the fire energy to be able to create magic, the cups, the pentacles, and then using it. Let's see what else we get with the oracle fairies. Dreams were quite enlightening last night. We are on a high tide. Let me know what sounds like. Never know till after. Okay, so give me something with this magician energy. It's in your thoughts, it's in your actions, it's in the way that you speak, it's in, we are in charge of our own realities. What do you want to create? What do you want to manifest? This moon is saying, there's magic in the air. Use it. Be mindful. You've got all the tools lying on the table in front of you to be able to be the magician of your own reality. That flew out on the floor. Motivation. So it's spring into action. Get motivated. Even though it's not spring, the energy is there to, like I say, with the Knight of Wands, to put something in place, to flower. Even though we're heading into autumn, there's different types of, when we went out into the woods today, which made me think, right, yeah, I'm going to do a message from the fairies, and even though everything's turning brown and the leaves, it still feels like the beginnings of, it's the beginnings of autumn. Spring energy, that energy can come in at any time. And with this magician energy and the Knight of Wands, it's like springing to action. If there's something that you've been wanting to do, now is the time to do it. We've got music at the bottom. Now the music, with it being green, is like there's messages in music. That's why I always put on Magic FM leading up to the full moon. Is there anything that I need to look at clear? We can listen to hear a song from years ago that at some point made us feel really sad. We know we've healed from it when we hear it again and we have a different feeling about it. But it's saying that music is a healer. It's the heart chakra. It's in green. But also there are messages coming through in music about maybe how, or using music to get motivated. You can also use music for manifesting. So, you know, you've only got to pick a really good song that's got the lyrics to the manifestation that you want to bring in and keep playing it. And keep getting in that energy of spring-like, of excitement, of almost like scattering the seeds, because we might not see these manifestations until spring. Sometimes they do take a while because we throw out the thoughts, we put out the ideas, this is what I want, you know, it to look like. And then obviously we have to get into that feeling of it's already here. But then the 3D has to sort of move things, take people, places, situations out of your life, move to different locations, whatever, to bring that level of manifestation in. It depends how big you've put your wish list out for, as to how long it takes. Some are instant, and some take a little while. I dreamt of this a year ago, so we have to be patient in our manifestations, but this is what the message is. The energy is, and with it being in Aries as well, and it being the fire sign and the first sign, it's new beginnings, it's that fresh start, it feels like. Right, give me something with motivation, manifestation and music. It's all the ends, all moving forward. Motivation, manifestation, music. We've got mental repetition, and this is what I'm saying, from the root down. So it could be clearing out any mental repetition, thoughts of stuff that is rooted in probably childhood, but from the root down upwards. It's what we affirm. We have to affirm what it is that we want to bring it into a manifestation, but we have to believe it. We have to live it. We have to actually, it's got to be our roots, so that we are the tree of our own manifestations. She is literally in the branches, mental repetition. So it's repeating, I can, instead of I can't. But what did we get? We got acceptance. Oh my God, look at that beautiful moon there. She is riding a fish. She is riding the waves. Now it's green, so it's in the heart chakra, but it's acceptance. Acceptance of self. Acceptance of these circumstances, these emotions that are coming up, these, and this is like acceptance, I love myself. I'm going to ride this fish through the waves whilst this full moon is bringing stuff up to the surface. She's gliding through. But acceptance, it's like acceptance of it all, of the dark and the light. Whatever comes up, it's acceptable. That's green. And then we have this reliable. Is it reliable? It looks like reliable. So she's got these candles. She's playing the harp. And there's a new moon. So I'm feeling like this magic, motivation, music, magician, manifestation energy is from this full moon down to this new moon, and reliable. So not only is it saying here with this mental repetition, it's asking us to be reliable on our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, showing a sense of trust. She's playing the harp, so her energy would feel safe. She's reliable, she's trustworthy. I would sit around her. She's got candles around. She looks like the light in the dark. And this purple suggests that it's peace of mind. So peace of mind, it's almost like reliability. But be reliable. Be reliable on self. Acceptance of self. Not looking outside for outside acceptance. Relying on oneself. This is between the full moon and the new moon. And that's the heart chakra and the mind space. After doing this mental repetition, acceptance and reliable. Right, we're going to go back to the fairy cards. Motivation, reliable, acceptance, coffee, music. So the acceptance and music are both in green. And you could play music. It doesn't have to be about outside things. You could play music that reflects who you feel like inside. Or if you need a little pick-me-up. There's an untold amount of love songs out there that have been written for other people, but how about we put them on and sing them to ourselves? Acceptance. Right, let's get a bit more. Use the music. Because again, when we sing songs for other people, or about other people, or are thinking about other people whilst we're hearing music, we actually give our power away. So we call it back in. The Fool. So it's a brand new beginning. It's taking a leap of faith into the unknown and really trusting that the universe is going to support you. I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to jump off the edge of this. He's got wings, so he's not going to crash. And all the knowledge that he's gathered from all the past experiences, he's holding in a ball in his hand, but it's the card 0. So it's the beginning of a brand new, fresh way of thinking, being more motivated, acceptance of oneself and circumstances, and being reliable. So actually kind of put in not structures in place. I want to say that reliable, playing the harp, is more of a inner thing. Like the foundations of showing up in the world as reliable. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles is keep going, keep mastering your skills. I don't know why that's not working. Hang on a minute. final skills, perfection, and then better. She is literally weaving a basket to hold the harvest of all the work that she's put in, possibly on herself. We do the inner work, it shows up in the outer realms, but it's like she's getting help as well. The mice are there, but she's enjoying it. It could be learning new skills, but it's definitely, Eight of Pentacles is definitely, and there he is, the Knave of Wands. Eight of Pentacles is definitely learning, teaching, mastering one's skills to a perfection, passing them skills on. She's weaving, she's learning. My ears are burning. Both of them, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, mastering one's skills to a perfection and creating more abundance. It's one away from the Nine of Pentacles, which is self-reliance. So it's building up those skills in order to be self-sufficient, reliant, not looking out, reliable, not looking out for on anything outside of ourselves. So there's a judgment call. Have you heard the call, the wake-up call? This could be numbers, this could be a dream, this could be like, I can't be in this situation anymore. The trumpet is calling. It's the judgment card, but they also call it the rebirth card. But it is a calling. And you may have a calling to do something. This card is suggesting that there's a fresh new beginning. It's come after this period of like the wounded warrior, the Nine of Wands, but he's actually having a rest. He's having a rest because he's protecting himself, possibly from stuff that's gone on around him, a bit of withdrawal. It's important when the Nine of Wands comes out that we're aware of what's ours and what's not ours, and projecting our past traumas onto other people. I always get this message with the Nine of Wands. It's like, that's our responsibility. We keep it in, you know. And I guess that's what makes us, that's the acceptance of, I have these wounds, and I am a little bit guarded, but without actually projecting them. And then the Knave of Wands. So there is this fire energy. It's like, what way am I going? What do I want to manifest? I've got the fire in my belly to start something. What way am I going? Where am I going to use it? But this could be news coming in. Reliable again. And then the Knave of Cups at the bottom. Motivation, acceptance, magician, music, mental repetition. But there's been a wake-up call. Wake-up call. What's the wake-up call? What was the wake-up call? The reliable can be trust your own. Listen to your own instincts. Listen to your own music. Play your own tune. The wake-up call was the Ten of Wands and the Lovers. So the Ten of Wands is like one from the Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands is, I've had enough. I'm putting all these responsibilities down. This is the wand that broke the camel's back. That was the wake-up call, or it is the wake-up call around this full moon in Aries. It's like, oh my God, I've been carrying all these responsibilities, and how many of those are mine? How many have I said I'm going to be responsible for, and it's not actually your responsibility? It could be working too hard, you know, feeling responsible for other people's emotions, of which we're not. But with it coming out with the Lovers, I'm not feeling like it could be an actual partnership. It could be a union. But it's like I'm just gonna drop it. 10 of Wands and the Lovers. I mean, the Lovers energetically is the divine masculine, the divine feminine co-working within, you know, balanced within the self. But with the 10 of Wands, it's like I'm just gonna drop the responsibility. I've had enough. So that was the wake-up call, and then there was a death at the bottom of that. So there could have been an actual breakup, or something, a responsibility, or a huge lot of responsibility. Someone's just gone, nah, I'm just going to drop it. And it's brought them in union with themselves, with their divine masculine, with their divine feminine. But also what that will do is obviously bring a union together. With the death card, it's like the end of. She's overcome the fear of change. The skull represents change, and she's sitting on top of it. And I think that's the thing that keeps us stuck in situations that we don't want to be in, and until it gets to the 10 of Wands, I've had enough. It's like fear of the unknown, fear of taking a leap of faith, fear of looking like a fool. But she's sat on top of, she's overcome her fear of death, of change. And then the Judgment card calls it a rebirth, a new beginning. So this union, this Lovers, this like, yeah, 10 of Wands and the Lovers, is almost like, well, it could be what you want to manifest in. But in order to manifest any kind of union in, you have to accept yourself, you have to be reliable, have the motivation, listen out for the signs, do the mental repetition so that it's rooted, so you actually become what you think. And then, yeah, the wake-up call. Let's have a quick look at what the Druid Tarot have to say about the Magician, motivation, acceptance. Give me more on this 10 of Wands and the Lovers. 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups is a celebration, it's reunion or union. It's three, and look at that moon, it's 3 people coming together, rejoicing in. We've had this today. The 3 elements of self, there is something to be celebrated here. This could be within oneself, bringing 3 elements of oneself together, or bringing 3, it's definitely reunions, rejoice, something to be celebrated. 4 of Cups at the bottom, a little bit of boredom there. Hopefully the sound's all right. Yeah, there's 5 of Cups and the High Priestess. So the 5 of Cups suggests I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm not listened to, I'm not valued, I'm going to turn my back on these cups, without actually realising that there is another cup. But it's like this woe me, 5 of Cups. A little bit of regret there as well. And then we've got the High Priest. So what it was a spiritual lesson to kind of have a little bit of what you don't want, to know what you do want. But sometimes we have to be sort of exposed to, if you like, not being seen, not being heard, not being valued, not being listened to, not being understood, which puts us in this 5 of Cups energy of lack in the heart space, really. It's also unrequited. And sometimes we have to, this it's enlightenment that from this experience that actually it's a spiritual lesson to teach us what we value about ourselves. Are we going to put up with this Five of Cups energy? I'm not being seen, I'm not being heard, I'm not being supported. And then he's got his fingers up like that, but there's enlightenment around this. So it feels like it was or is as a spiritual kind of lesson that needed or is needing to go through. There's fish in the water. It's almost like there's plenty more fish in the sea. But there's a reunion or a celebration of the overcoming the spiritual one, the spiritual lesson in not actually, you know, putting up with Five of Cups. And that could have been the wake-up call. So we have the Empress at the bottom. And I always, when I think of the Empress, I think Empress. Like, she's pregnant with ideas. She's the mother, she just sits, she's like the divine feminine, sitting on her throne. Harvest time is coming in. She doesn't chase, she just creates from a place of self-love, from a place of this, and especially with the moon in Aries, this, I'm losing my words. So yeah, this Empress energy of, I know my worth. I know what I'm worth. I'm going to call in what it is that I want. We've got the King of Wands at the bottom as well. So again, that is business energy. That is like Eight of Pentacles, go out and start. It's the divine masculine and the Empress together is what you would call unfuckable, really. Now we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, they're all flying. The Ace of Pentacles, but it came out in reverse. So I feel like there is just one little to get through in order for this Ace, because that is a gift from the universe, something coming in, and the enlightenment as well. But it did come out, so it's getting the motivation together to get this Ace of Pentacles going. And it could be a spiritual gift that's coming in after getting over this Five of Cups, or not sitting in this Five of Cups. And then the King of Pentacles and Death card again. So the King of Pentacles, he is in the divine masculine. He creates businesses, he creates realities. He's in his divine masculine, he goes out into the world. He builds the foundations built on, so he could be father figure, grandfather figure. He has, in the divine masculine energy, along with the Empress and the High Priest, you know, you've got all this masculine energy here, but there's a Death card, which is the end of, that's come out twice, end of and a new beginning. And there's a snake on that as well. So it's the shedding of the old. But the King of Pentacles sits on his throne. He's got enough to for himself, and he's got enough to make sure everybody around him is happy. So we're quickly going to jump to the Labyrinth fairies. Oh my God, they're flying out. So yeah, the Nine of Wands flew out as well, but it came out upside down. So that's the leaving of this energy of the wounded warrior. Look at him. He's been in battle. He's kind of had enough. And that's why he's got all his wands pointing out. He's in protective mode, but it flew out upside down. So that is actually leaving. And then we've got Indy. So again, there's this decision making. There's this, so I've got my hands full. a decision needs to be made, and it's from the heart space because he's in green. I've got to let one of these go. They do feel like responsibilities, but they could be self-limiting responsibility given to oneself. Like I've taken on this, and actually, you know, I've got to let something go to free up my hands. So that was either the judgment call, the Ten of Wands, putting the burdens down and making the decision. This is all collective at the moment. Fell out on the very jumped out actually. Envious. Let me just get the number up. 54. And would you believe it? I can't see. 54. 54. I can upload this. So this is Envious's wild daughter. This is inner shadow, nightmare, depression, madness and growth. And that's what I'm saying. That's what the Five of Cups kind of looks like. The wild daughter is the sphinx of the riddles that must be answered, lest we otherwise be destroyed by our own internal conflicts. She reminds us that we cannot go forward until we have faced something buried within us that is holding us back. Her presence in the reading tells us that finding and working through this is a task of some urgency. We can expect help in from the fairies, from our dreams. But when we're ready to face things about ourselves that are not as we wish them to be, she urges us to heal the unresolved issues about who we really are and what we truly want to be. This is a part of the required course in self-transformation that we are all enrolled here on planet Earth to do. The answers to our riddles often come in a sudden burst of enlightenment, like the Judgment card. We may watch a leaf fall or catch a glimpse of the tiny silver of the new moon in the sky and suddenly be hit by the answer. Before that happens, we usually work long and hard at the question, searching and digging for an answer. The realisation when we really have it will be transformative. We will no longer be the people that we were before. So the new moon was also mentioned in that, which I'm feeling this is possibly work going on from this moon, supermoon, to the next new moon. Spirit dancer. And then we've got Gerald the Parrot, Spirit Dancer, 36. I mean, this is self-expression. This is acceptance. This is, I am who I am. If you don't like it, move on. 30. Self-expression, freedom and exploration. Not explanation. We explain ourselves to no one. Now is the time to focus on really concentrate on the project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity, balanced by self-discipline, will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. And then communication at the bottom and the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom. I am going to close with a rose. I haven't done that in ages. Close with a rose. Close with a rose. Bottom bottom of the deck we have the Rose of Venus. Ooh. Isn't Aries ruled by Venus? No. Alignment, flow, right relationship and harmony. Ooh. And then we have the Wild Rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness and be untamed. I love you lots.